What I found in the basement of the inherited house wasn't just the secret of a home, but the secret of someone's entire life. The story I'm about to tell you today shows that a house isn't just four walls and a roof. Sometimes they're time capsules holding people's deepest secrets. It all started 3 weeks ago in lawyer Jonathan Miller's office. I was sitting in the waiting room, my teacup trembling in my hands. I wasn't even fully aware of why I was there. I'd only been told that my name appeared in the will of a woman named Elizabeth Morrison. "Did you know Elizabeth Morrison?" Miller asked, adjusting his glasses. "No," I said. "I've never heard that name in my life." The lawyer frowned. "Strange. Because she left you her house at 412 Maple Street. And she had this will prepared 3 years ago." I felt my heart racing. 3 years ago? Why did that date sound familiar? The next day, I was behind the wheel of an old Honda Civic, listening to the GPS's cold voice as I searched for Maple Street. It was one of the city's older neighborhoods, with large oak trees shading the street. When I found number 412, I was breathless. The house was a Victorian-style building from the 1920s, 2 stories, with faded dark green wooden siding and rusted porch railings. But what really caught my attention weren't the windows, but the lavender bushes in the garden. In my childhood, my grandmother's garden had lavender scents just like these. I turned the key, and the door creaked open. Inside smelled of old paper and wood. The living room was filled with classic furniture, everything carefully arranged. Black and white photographs were lined up on the mantelpiece. I approached curiously. In the first photo, I saw a young woman. She had dark hair and bright eyes. Below it read, "Elizabeth, 1962. The other photos showed the same woman at different ages. Marriage, children, family gatherings. I was seeing a normal life. I moved to the kitchen. There were note papers on top of the refrigerator. Electric bill on the 15th. Doctor's appointment Monday. Call me. I froze. It said, "Call me." My name. With trembling hands, I took the note. Below it was a phone number. My own number. But I didn't know this woman. How could this be? I decided to conduct a systematic search of the house. Upstairs, there were 3 rooms: the master bedroom, guest room, and a small study. On the desk in the study were carefully arranged documents, bank accounts, insurance policies, and a letter written to me. I opened the letter. The handwriting was neat and elegant. "Dear daughter, if you're reading this letter, I'm no longer among you. I have so much to explain to you, but you must be prepared for this. Go down to the basement, find the red box. The key inside will show you the truth. I always loved you. Elizabeth." My heart was pounding. I found the stairs leading to the basement. The wooden steps creaked under my weight. Below was cold and damp, with a single bulb casting weak light. The basement looked like a typical storage area. Old furniture, boxes, children's toys. But in the corner was the red box Elizabeth had mentioned in her letter. Chest type, antique looking. When I opened the box, the scene inside amazed me. Hundreds of photographs, documents, letters, and all of them were about me. The top photo was of me swinging on a swing in the park when I was 5. But who had taken this photo? Below it read 1998. The other photos, from my school graduation ceremony, my university years, even from last year when I was sitting with my friend at a cafe. Someone had been watching me for years. Under the photos were old newspapers. Headlines caught my eye. Baby switch scandal at hospital. Babies born in 1995 may have been mixed up. Family search campaign launched. I couldn't breathe. 1995, the year I was born. At the bottom were hospital records. 2 babies born on the same day. One was Elizabeth Morrison's daughter, Margaret. The other, another baby whose name was unreadable. But there was an error in the records. The baby bracelets had been mixed up. I understood. Elizabeth Morrison was my real mother. With trembling hands, I continued. Private detective reports, DNA test results, and efforts to find me. Elizabeth had searched for her real daughter for years. When she found me, she couldn't bring herself to interfere with my life. Instead, she had watched me from afar, protected me, photographed every important moment of mine. The last document was a will. I leave my house to my daughter. I apologize for not being able to hug her and say, "My daughter." I hope she will understand me. My eyes filled with tears, but there was one more thing at the bottom, a small key and a note. Bedroom closet, 3rd drawer, secret compartment. I went upstairs to the bedroom. Behind the 3rd drawer was a secret compartment. I turned the key. Inside was just one thing. My first photo as a baby taken in the hospital. But what was really surprising was what was written on the back of the photo. May 15th, 1995, 2:30 p.m. First photo in her mother's arms. I will love you forever, Mother Elizabeth. At that moment, I realized that this house wasn't just an inheritance. This was the last gift from my mother, whom I could never meet. She had loved me from afar throughout her life, protected me, but never disturbed me. Today, I live in this house, every day with the memories Elizabeth left behind. Sometimes I look at her photographs on the mantelpiece and say, "Hello, Mother. Even though we're late, we finally found each other." And now I understand that sometimes the biggest secrets aren't hidden within the walls of a house, but in a mother's heart. Elizabeth Morrison didn't just leave me a house. The greatest inheritance she gave me was her unconditional love. This story taught me something. Every mysterious event we encounter in life might actually be a sign of someone else's love. Sometimes secrets aren't scary, they're beautiful. And sometimes learning that someone we don't know has such a big place in our lives is not only surprising, but also healing. This is my story. I hope beautiful secrets like this are hidden in your life too.